G'day guys, my name's Darryl Webb and today we're going to have a look at some alternative coloured lighting. I currently run a laser style light bar just with my high beams because Pajero headlights aren't that great. And I've got a little red light that I use just when I'm hunting. It's just good for sneaking around at slow speed. The only problems I sort of have with that is this light bar is great straight down the road, but it doesn't have a lot of side light. That's great for the highway, but when you're going in the bush, I thought maybe I could add some light out the sides. This is really good for showing eye shine, the red LED, but if you need to go a little bit faster, it's not enough light, so you end up putting your white light on and you scare game. Colight reached out to me and they've got a dual light that's got orange and so amber and white, and it's in a bit of a combo beam. It's got spot and flood, so I'm not quite sure where to mount them yet. I thought I might put them down here with my main little lights on this bar. I could either run them straight to give a bit of orange light when I need to go that little bit faster and hopefully not spook game, or I could use them on a 45-degree angle out the side as a white light to complement my light bar when I'm going at slower speeds. Anyway, I'll bring you and have a little look at them, and then I'm going to wire them up. It comes with a loom and everything, and then we'll go out and do some night testing and see which is the best way to work them. I don't know, this might not work for me at all. I might say they're just a brilliant camp light with white and amber lining, because we all know bugs don't chase the amber light anywhere near as much as white, so we'll find out, we'll work it out together. Okay, so when you get these, I've had this open, I've been mucking around, just sort of sussing them out, looking at their build quality and everything, see what they came with and whatnot. They came pretty good packaging. This one come in its own little bag, and the mountain that wasn't on there. It comes with a little book. It's just a straightforward thing. So it shows you how to do what you need to know to install them. The lights come in a little pair, and that's sort of the light itself. Things I can say straight away that I sort of picked up, it's a bit of a jump up in quality compared to some of the cheaper things I've had off before off like eBay or Amazon. It's definitely a little bit pricier to buy, but the quality's definitely a bit higher, a fair bit higher. It's probably more like my light bar than some of the cheap little lights I've bought in the past before from places like eBay. Just sort of aluminium. I'm not sure the blue surround is on the light. I would typically associate that with marine lights as a bit of an anti-glare off the water, but I'm not near the water, I haven't tested it. I don't notice the blue light when it's turned on, but there is a blue thing there. And as you can see, each LED is it's a combo in there. It's a white LED and amber, and then in the middle it's got it like in a cob layout. It's just a little series of them in together to give you a flood pattern, and these ones give you a spot. So there's 10 to give you a spot, and then a few more down there, a line in the middle giving you the spread, to give you that combo beam. And then also with it there's the fittings, a full relay. So all the fittings in that look pretty good. The relay and that all look alright. They all feel like quality parts. The heat shrinking and that seems alright in it. I'll find out more as I'm installing it. And I'll sort of basically, when I just hooked it up, the plate out also comes fused, which you want, is there's a button for on and off, and it's got a mode. I'll test the mode thing when I got them so you can see it at night, but pretty much it was like constant on white, constant on orange, strobe white, strobe orange, white and orange together, and a intermittent strobe where it flashes from white to orange, which was a bit different, but anyway, we'll mount all that in and we'll see how it all works. Right, so far mounted the relay in here. Keep the relay nice and close to the battery because these aren't too long. You can extend them obviously. Got the earth, and then I've got to the positive. I'll join that last and then put the fuse in. And besides that, I've got the trigger wire. This is only half of it, but there's plenty of length there, more than enough to make it into the interior. There's probably another 5 foot at the other end of it, a bit on the long side, but that's better than having to cut them and join them and extend them. And then the actual for the front lights, a pair of these, one for each light. As you can see, there's more than enough. If you're going the other way up to a roof rack, you've probably got enough to go over side to a roof rack as well. So on to the next step, running some more cables in here. hand holding this, so excuse a bit of a shaky. But there's my relay there. I've just got the little power wire and that coming out, but all just sitting there, none of that's connected yet. I've ran the trigger eye down around there, and if you can see down here, I hope there's enough light you can see that there. There's a rubber gland there, and I've run like UHF radio antenna and power leads and that through there before, so it's got a pretty good seal there, and it's over a metre off the ground, so I shouldn't get water leaks through there. So I've tucked him in there, so he's in the interior. Alright, so now I've pulled that cable through the other side, I've plugged it together, I've tucked the cable in up here, up to the switch. I've just used their sticky backing on at the moment, and it feels like it's stuck pretty bloody good, so time will tell with that, but nice and simple. Okay, so what we're up to now is actually mounting these guys. So they just drop in. Their vertical alignment is done with these little Allen heads. It's probably about the only thing I've found that I'm not a huge fan of. They work, but it's probably just the position I'm putting them in. Is it makes it a bit hard to get the Allen head in to adjust it. So what I'll try and do is, before I mount them down here, I'll try and get them close to these, because I know these guys are set right, and because this is a bit of a spot with flood, it's probably not as critical as getting it dead right as, say, for instance, a big light bar that's got a lot of throw at distance. So now, it did come with little spade connectors. So I'm not going to use those. You can if you want. So for the whole installation, realistically, you don't need to know how to solder. It's got everything you need on there. Is spade connectors, a crimper or a pair of pliers to do a crimp. That was really all you really need. So they have been reasonably inclusive. These already come pre-stripped, and all you got to do is crimp onto those what it is you're after. Spade lug size, the ones provided, and you can do the whole job. Not too hard. I think it's taken me probably, I think if you were doing this from start and it wasn't a hot day and your wife didn't bring you out a beer during that hot day while you were doing the job, it'd probably be about a 45-minute job. So not too bad. But for me, because I've been stopping and my wife was nice enough to bring me out a beer on this hot afternoon while it's about 35 or 36 degrees, it's taken me probably about an hour and a half so far, but I'm on the home straight now. do. Just get in there with him. Well, they're all mounted, it's all done. Everything's safe and fused and wired up correctly. Gave them a quick test, they ran as you've seen. So now I'll wait till it gets dark. We'll go out and do some footage of that, see what it looks like in the night time, see if they actually work as a standalone fog light with just my low beams. They probably won't, they're a bit smaller light, but it'll be very interesting to play with the modes and see if it improves how my red light works with a bit of an amber light, so I can go a little bit quicker and see what I'm doing. Alright, so we're looking at these colights. I'm just in a bit of woodland right on the edge of a paddock, so this is pretty typical of where I would spend time while I'm hunting, around the fringes of farmland and forest. But this is them on their white setting, and we'll just go through a couple of the modes just so you can see them. That's their constant orange setting, and we'll go through to the that's white and orange together. That's white strobe. Then it goes through to orange strobe. White and orange combination strobe. And back to white. They're actually a lot brighter than I thought they were going to be. For such a small unit, they actually give out some good light. Just to give you a comparison there, I'll turn on my low beams on the car. So that's my low beams on. I'll turn the light on and off while you're looking at that. That's just my low beams, and that's the white light from those little pods. So quite impressive. Low beams off now. Sorry about the screen moving. Alright, so typically I would drive around with a red light on when I'm doing this. And I'll turn it on now. And as you can see, it is very discreet. But when you're going quite slow, you know, sort of 5-6 kilometres an hour idling along, it's enough. And I can see, you know, holes in the tracks and things like that and stumps. But as soon as you need to lift your speed a little bit, it's just not quite there. It's not enough light. So I'm thinking now I'll be able to turn these on and hit them with the orange. And it's not that much difference than my red. So that's the orange and the red on together. I'll turn the red off. You can't even notice it there. So it's absolutely smashing my my red light. I said the red light's very discreet. Predator animals don't run away from it. But I'm thinking that orange might be the go. I'm gonna be really intrigued to see how it goes. I pretty much have worked out from past experience, if bugs come to it, predators like foxes and that, and feral cats typically shy away from it. So I'm thinking there's nowhere near as many bugs come to an orange light as a white light, so it might work like that. But yeah, I'll go outside and I'll set the camera up outside so you can see that from the front and go through the modes again. So they do look pretty good. Surprisingly bright for their size. So much brighter than I thought they were going to be. They're a lot brighter than my low beams. Like, I mean, they make my low beams just about disappear. Even on the orange. Pros and cons. The only thing I say about them as a con was where I've got it mounted, it's quite hard to get the Allen key onto the adjustment screw for the up and down. That was about the only thing I could sort of find on them. Build quality and all that all seems pretty good, and the loom and installing them was all pretty simple with their provided stuff, so not really too much cons. The only other thing could be, in a forward facing setup like this, depending on where you live, you have to watch out for legalities. Obviously if you're using them off-road, you can pop the fuses out and sort of get around that. In New South Wales I have to have a safety check every year, so I may have to do that. That's what I've always done with like the red one. So it's not hard, and then if you go off-road then you can pop the fuses back in and you can use them for your work or your intended purposes. Pros. Well, they're a lot better quality than the stuff I normally see from places like eBay and whatnot. The build quality is, it's not super high end, but it's not that cheap stuff. This little red lantern I use, and some other stuff I've bought in the past before. Sometimes it's hard to find coloured lights in good colours, in good quality. These ones suffer a bit, they're not great quality. I got one on my quad bike, it's been on it now for probably over 12 months. It does work pretty good, it hasn't died on me, so these feel a lot better quality just when you handle them and everything like that, and the lube and everything that comes in is a lot better quality than the other stuff I've bought. So that's probably it for pros and cons. I guess we'll do a bit of a conclusion. So I like the lights, and the difference between red and orange, let's talk about that for a sec. I think it pretty much is how you would think of it. White definitely scares away animals. I've noticed that a lot. Every now and then you get a silly animal and they don't take any notice. Red is very discreet and animals really hardly bother by it. Like sometimes they'll actually come up quite close. They're just not fazed about the red light. But obviously, as you would have seen in the little video clips, when you're using the red light, we don't see it that well either. I see eye shine good, but it doesn't really help me if I've got to move along a little bit quicker. If I'm idling along, just have the car and drive with my foot off the brake, the red's okay, only okay. The orange is more than enough light, and I think it's somewhere between the white and the red. It still may spook them. It's a bit like how I said with bugs. You still get some bugs around the orange light, nowhere near as much as the white light. Red light, you hardly get any bugs. So I'm going to guess it's like that. These lights in particular, if you look on, they got an Amazon store. They're on there. I think they're about, you can buy them as with a whole light bar that's set up the same and have it all in one. Or you can buy it just as the two little 4-inch lights. I think they were around about $75. That may change, but that's on the Amazon store. So they're not crazy cheap, but they're not real expensive either. But I have a Colight web shop. So, you know, like an actual web page, and you can buy it direct from them there. I don't think these ones are on there. I think these are new. But they have lots of other stuff. When I was browsing on there real quickly, they had some really cool things which I do want to check out. They had things like lots and lots of different type mounts and small lighting, but they also had large light bars. They also have lots of complete light replacements for certain models of car. You know, there's things on there for Ford Broncos and that, whole headlight replacements with the LED upgrades and everything. So they got a fair bit of stuff. Oh, they had these switch touch panels for switching. You know, you got rock lights and side lights and all that. You can change them all just off a touch panel, and some of them even got Bluetooth. So imagine that with some camp lights set up. You could be laying in bed, and if you need to go up to call nature in the middle of the night, you can turn your camp lights on and just for Bluetooth for your phone, and get up so you can see where you're going, not tripping over any tent ropes. And when you go back to bed, get yourself nice and tucked in and turn them off. Pretty cool stuff. Anyway, I will put a link down there to Colight's web store, and I'll put a link to these on their Amazon store as well. And if there's something interesting, you can check them out. Anyway, on that note, I'll leave the video. And if you like this, hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more stuff like this and some hunting videos and some fishing videos and camping videos, then hit the subscribe button. Anyway, bye for now.